Hello everybody, welcome back to the Let's Play. This is episode 13, so I believe. If you've been keeping up, I know you have, you'll know that last time we went to the end, and we got a load of gear, we got our elytra, we got most things that we needed. I've been doing some enchanting with those levels from the dragon. I think we did that at the end of last episode actually. I've been combining some tools and I'm now pretty well geared out. So I'm pretty happy. I've made some improvements to the Nether portal. You can see this. We'll go and take a closer look later. We're doing a bit of housekeeping actually around the base area. But there's one thing that is missing, which is today's objective, and that is a mob farm. So I will be using elytra. I will need rockets. I also need things like spider eyes for the potions that I like to brew. I need some string. I also need bones for all the bone meal that I keep using. So a generic mob farm will be very, very useful, and I should have probably set one up sooner. I guess the reason I didn't is, as I've said previously, I don't like floating things, so these things have to come down at some point. No, I mean the best way to do mob farms is to have them out on the water. So when you're high up, I'm talking like 100 blocks up above the water line. So when you're up there using the mob farm, the sphere that surrounds you, which allows things to spawn, you don't get any other mobs. They don't form on or under the water. And if you're high enough up, you don't see any caves or anything. So it's an efficient way to make a mob farm. Guardian farm is just over there. But yeah, coming back to the reason I haven't done it yet, A was accessibility. It would have been hard to get up and down frequently without elytra. The second reason is floating farms look so ugly. I wanted to wait until I had all the materials I needed to make it look good. And I've got a really cool plan to make it look good. It's not original, other people have done these kind of things before, but I quite like it. I think it's quite clever. So what we'll start off doing is gather some more materials. I'll do that off camera, you don't want to see that. And we'll pillar up, we'll start mob farm. Maybe I'll show you some bits of the build process at different times. You don't need to watch the whole thing, of course, it's a very simple build. And then we'll do the decoration around, and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do. We'll have to spawn proof it too, which will be interesting. But I hope it's going to turn out quite nicely. Maybe one other thing to show you now. I can't get down because there's gates here. I was going to jump off the top, that would have been convenient. Maybe I should make a space so I can get down quickly. Right, so let's go and look at the Nether portal. I have the elytra on. I really don't want to jump off thinking I have elytra when I don't. So we're just going to fly down here. It looks really cool. Yeah, so the old Nether portal was just a plain 2x4, and it didn't look that good. I wanted to go now. I did all this off camera. I think it's turned out quite nicely, but it's not finished. There's still more to do. I wanted to go for a kind of Stargate appearance. I'm sure you're familiar with the show. So I used these stairs to get a circular edge. It's just a big portal behind, of course. And the blackstone just works so well, mixed in with things like magma and shroom lights and the crying obsidian. So I'm really happy, but there is more to do. It needs to grade a bit better into the landscape. I need to terraform a bit behind to make it look like it's not just poking up. I want it almost kind of covered by the hill. I guess you'll see what I mean when I get to that point. But yeah, things are looking good. We want a bridge that connects this, maybe down at this level here, to this tiny peninsula. I'll probably get rid of this tree. Then we can connect this all the way up to the Nether portal. And also, whoop, these are the lights I was talking about. So an android with a mushroom block on top, and they look like mini mushrooms, which I think is really cute. But they also give off light, so they're really good for just sticking around the base and using instead of torches. I do want to get rid of all torches in my world, just like Etho. There's many other ways to light blocks up, this being one of them. Campfires, lanterns. There's many things you can use apart from torches. Torches can look good in certain places, but You don't want to have torch spam just everywhere. Okay, so we'll collect some materials and then we'll go and get started on this mob farm. I'm quite excited. I think I've got what I need. Well, we'll go and pick a spot out in the ocean and hopefully pillar up to a decent height. Now, it's quite clear that this is the best ocean to go in. This is our house. This is where we are right now. It's hard to see the joins on the maps, but this is basically 0, 0. So going southeast. We don't want to go too far, but I suspect, essentially, here in the deep ocean, close enough so we can still see the base and we can still see the build once it's done. But not so close so we'll get things spawning. Obviously there's always nuance to this. Okay, there's spruce. This is kind of central, isn't it? How many blocks away are we? Maybe if we just go halfway between, perhaps. Maybe I should have brought a map so I can see exactly where I am. This seems like a decent spot. We'll just go here. I mean, what's the harm? Right. Good, there's some kelp. This is perfect. So we can use this to not have to pillar down the entire way. Okay. So you want to go up about 2 stacks. 2 stacks of scaffolding, so this is the easy part. Scaffolding is so good to work with. I never used to be a fan of it. I used to just do these dirt towers and have to take them down with the shovel and such. I've really come around to using scaffolding. I think it was a great addition, and bamboo is so easy to get that it's not a big deal. There we go, that was 2 stacks put in very, very quickly. Can barely even see the top. Right, so let's go up. The Guardian farm, by the way, is still a work in progress. I think the last time we talked about it, I was partitioning off, or making a wall around the outside. You can see the big square, and I will eventually drain it. It's just a way to really improve the rates. The rates I was getting were okay, but even when you boat up and swim into the monument, you can see there's still lots of Guardians forming outside of that central square. And I don't want to have soul sand across the entire area. I think that's overkill. So I will drain it at some point. And I've made progress inside the monument too, with the armor trim displays. I'll have to show you that progress sometime. I think some of the displays are looking quite good. I will also need to go and collect some more armor trims at some point, but we have to go to certain... Oh wow, this is kind of creepy actually. Can we go any higher? I didn't think I'd be able to see. Yeah, I've got a few more. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. No. Let's just go to 200. It's a nice even number. Oh wow, this is just fantastic view. I love this. And these clouds. These shader packs and these texture packs just look so good. Okay, so we're at 200. Let's make it a bigger platform. So we're going to do centered around here. It would be a shame if I couldn't see this build because of render distance or something. I'll have to see what we can do about that. Like I said, it's not just a farm, I want to make it aesthetic as well. I'm kind of trying not to give the game away about what I want to do, but it will involve lots of wool, so maybe you can guess from that. It's a classic kind of design for anything that's floating up in the air. Okay, this platform should be getting close to being big enough. The design involves a lot of these mob farms. I mean, you must have made them in the past. It's the most basic thing you can make in Minecraft. You have these kind of drop chutes in the middle, and you have platforms with trapdoors that mobs can spawn and walk off and then fall down, and then you just kill them. So you have a kind of half slab, like viewing window, so to speak. So we kind of want a central area. Let's say this is the center. It looks like the center. So you want 3 by 3. So for now, if we do chests there, I didn't mean to. So when I say 3 by 3, I mean the drop chute. That was the Nether portal build. So 1, 2, 3. So there we go. So this is what the mobs fall onto. And this is where you collect your XP. Yeah, the carpet's in my inventory. I need to crouch. If you've ever built these kind of mob farms, you know that, oops, you need to put carpet down, otherwise the XP gets trapped inside the hoppers. So getting XP from this will be a bonus too, of course. Okay, so this is the basic setup. I need to build this out so I have more space to work with, but I didn't bring enough dirt. Oh, that's the deep slate. Okay, I'll fly back down and get some more dirt. I need a bigger, oh, there's dirt here. Okay, fine. Yeah, this is my terraforming dirt for the Nether portal, but we'll use it in this case. We can always get more dirt. But I think, you know, people tend to underestimate the value of dirt. It's definitely, you know, the kind of semi-ironic, low quality, kind of nuisance block, perhaps. There's these memes you see, the 4 horsemen of blocks that you never asked for. Dirt's not on that list. It's things like grass seeds. Like whenever you're trying to clear an area out, you end up with grass seeds, and you're like, I didn't want grass seeds, and I don't have anything to do with them. No, I always feel that dirt is the kind of like, it's a bit forgotten about, but it has lots and lots of uses, and I like to have lots of it. You think, this is the thing, you think you're never going to use it, but you actually do end up using it quite a lot. And in terms of iconicity, you know, how iconic something is, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to light this place up actually. I don't want anything happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, so it is symmetrical. 1, that's not symmetrical. Yeah, in terms of being iconic, the grass block, you know, if you were talking about, you know, what's the most iconic or recognizable block in Minecraft to someone who doesn't play or only knows a little bit about the game, you know, doesn't play the game. 2, 3. So I built 1 too many. I'd say it was the grass block. 2, 3. I'd say creepers are instantly recognizable to people, perhaps who haven't even played the game. But in terms of blocks, because creepers are mobs, of course, the grass block, I would say, basically because it used to be the icon for the game. Is that correct? I can't even remember, because I obviously picked up the game somewhat recently, as I keep saying. Okay, no, we don't want the corners. We just want it here. So this is where you stand and you give people slaps here. I guess there has to be a half slab here. Okay, I know we have to build up, I think it's 19 blocks. Let me check on this. I'll check on the number because I don't want to have it too high so they all fall and die. Because we do want the XP and we also want to kill them with looting. I'll get this number and I'll bring you back when I know how many blocks to pillar up. And then we can start building the inside. Okay, welcome back. I quickly checked, it's 19 blocks, so I do remember correctly, 19 blocks of a drop, so we need to build up a certain amount. These are double slabs. Their use will become apparent later. This particular design of farm, which is by Wattles, allows you to get music discs as well as mob drops. And to do this, you need the skeletons to be able to see you, and they will shoot. And if there's creepers in there, you'll get music discs. So this is a really clever farm. So I'm following his design. I'll link it in the description below. I know I said ages ago that I'd try and do my own redstone and stuff, and I will still try and do this. But these classic designs, I mean, there's nothing innovative about them really. And this added bonus, they're giving you music discs, I'm quite a big fan of, so we'll definitely take that option if we can. So that should be the right level. I guess with feather falling, I can just, it's not a big deal. Yeah, 1 heart. Of course, the mobs don't have feather falling, so that's their problem. 220, yep, okay. See, no one's really going to see this from the outside. You'll see the design from the inside, so I don't need to make it look that good. I mean, deep slate is just a block that you end up getting in massive proportions. So much deep slate, just by simple mining. You go mining for diamonds, and you come back with pretty much an inventory full of deep slate, which is not a big deal because I actually like it. I think it's one of the most attractive blocks in all of Minecraft. Well, the variants of it at least. Deep slate itself is not really, but the variants you can get, I mean, they're just great. I like it because it's not too dark. Blackstone, of course, is like super dark. Deep slate is more of like a dark grey, I would say, which works really well. Because really dark builds, I mean, you need to have a certain style, I think. It basically needs to be something gothic or... Oh, I thought you'd taken too much. Yeah, like super dark builds, not a big fan of. Can I get this quickly? So I don't have the... what do I need? Let's just do... No, I don't want all 4 of them. That's better. 2 more stacks should do. Okay, here. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, deep slate is just perfect for kind of like castles and I guess any kind of build that is bricky. It really was a kind of a turning point, I think. The Caves and the Cliffs update, when this new world generation was introduced, deep slate became available. I'm jealous, of course, of some of these really old LPs, Ethos in particular. I remember watching his episode after Caves and Cliffs came out, and of course he'd done so much in his world, but previously he'd only been going down to level 0. Because before Caves and Cliffs, you couldn't go any deeper. That was the bedrock level. And then after Caves and Cliffs, he realizes, oh, I should go down and see what's underneath my house, because he's got his main build, his man cave, of course. And he has this most amazing lush cave, just right down beneath his house. And of course, new projects got started. It was really cool to see. And it's kind of like you think, oh, well, that was hiding there the entire time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I go like this, so what? 4 going out. There we go. It's a cool design. Like I said, no one's actually going to see this at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want tiles. Yeah, this is going to work quite well. I remember the first time that I made this particular type of mob grinder, and on the Xbox, I mean the spawn mechanics are the same, so you end up doing the exact same things. But I remember at the time I was following a tutorial, not knowing, this is like really early on, like I'm talking like really early on, when I didn't quite have a good understanding of the game. I didn't quite understand the difference between Bedrock and Java. I was like, well, how can you have 2 different forms of the same game? It doesn't make any sense. So I was following a tutorial for Java, and like I said, although the spawn mechanics are the same, The redstone is completely different. So I ended up doing a lot of redstone with a hopper clock actually, to try and get water flushing out and drop all the mobs down to these central chambers. It just was not working. I just couldn't understand why it wasn't working. It was getting quite frustrating actually, because at that point I didn't know anything about redstone. I barely understood what it was and how it could be used, so I couldn't troubleshoot anything of my own. Over time, I think I've got a much better understanding of redstone. I can't remember who it was that kind of gave me the hints and tips I needed. I remember watching quite a few guides. It was not by people like Mumbo. You know, he's incredible at redstone. But I guess it's not. I don't know. It's not super technical. Like the stuff he builds is really fantastic. But when you're talking about technical redstone, you're thinking of things like, God, Doc M and his collaborators, and Ether, I guess, to some degree, and Tango with his recent Hermitcraft inventions. But once I think, it's like anything, once you get some of the basics down, you understand maybe that design. Would that work? Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. I'll just sacrifice one block. Maybe that works fine. Yeah, I think, what was I saying? Like self-teaching is very good. But you obviously need some help at the start to get the basics down. I think it was, what's that guy's name? Silent Whisperer? Not watching where I'm going. Okay, well, while I'm down here, I'll get this block. Yeah, Silent Whisperer I think was good for teaching me some things. I'm going to have to... No, I'll just water bucket up. See, I'm trying to talk and get distracted at the same time, which is what I normally do. Okay. Oh, this is... This is a bit tricky when there's a block on top of you. Yes, perfect. That was a bit of a tricky maneuver, but we got it. So what do I need? Tiles. I should probably get an easy way to get up here in case that happens again. And then this, yes, these, perfect. Oh, cool, that's the spawning platform. Or, well, not the spawning platform, that's where the water will be. Yeah, no, what I should do is, I should probably make a cut and just concentrate on building this correctly. Because the talking is just being my downfall again. There'll be time for chapter later. So, yeah, I'll bring you back once I've done a bit more of this. Hopefully not getting distracted by what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'll see you soon. Okay, welcome back. You would have seen in the time lapse that I've done 3 layers. So there's this bottom layer where the water will go. 1 spawning platform, 2 spawning platforms, 3 spawning platforms. But they're not quite complete yet. What we need to do is add some carpets. Now if you're familiar with mob spawning mechanics, the kind of mobs that you'll get in these farms, the common mobs you can find out in the landscape. This includes creepers, which will be useful for gunpowder. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to make that. So creepers can form. Oh, I hope this thing doesn't wash away the carpets. Actually. Okay, we'll try one more layer. If I go top down, it shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, right. So we have creepers for the gunpowder. Spiders, of course, which is what these carpets will stop. Zombies and skeletons too. Oh, and witches should form as well, because they can form. They can spawn just in caves and such. So if I go across here, yeah, I should be able to reach. Can I reach? If I crouch, I should be able to reach. Yes. Okay, right. So yeah, you can make these farms into creeper only farms by doing some funny modifications with the trapdoors, which we're not going to do here because we want. Yeah, that wasn't going to work. Yeah, because we want all mobs, but creepers are just a few pixels shy of 2 blocks tall. So you have this 2-block gap here in the farm, and if you place trapdoors on the underside of these platforms, that's just the right height for creepers, and it's just the wrong height for any other mob that is 2 blocks tall. So you can stop zombies, you can stop skeletons and witches from spawning by using trapdoors on the underside of the top blocks. It's a useful mechanic. It's not needed here, as I keep saying. This is a general mob farm. But one thing that you just do not want, I find, in most cases, is spiders. And the reason for this is their pathfinding is really quite frustrating. They will try and climb up this drop chute in the middle, so you won't really be able to. Okay, good. What we need is a water source. Quick pit stop for some water. There's the boat. Perfect. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so spiders, when they spawn, they need a 2x2 space. And the carpets stop them from spawning in that way. Perfect. So when this is all blocked off, this will be a wall going up as well. And there's nowhere the spiders can spawn in here that is 2x2. They can't spawn on carpet, they can't spawn on the trapdoors. Although ironically, one of the keys to this farm is these trapdoors on the edges of these blocks. The mobs do treat them as blocks that they can walk on. So they will try and cross from one platform to the next on these trapdoors, despite the fact they're closed now, meaning open. But in this state, the mob will think that it's a block it can walk on, and it will just fall down into the water. So it's a very useful thing to do. If I can just make a source, is that going to be a problem if I make a source there? Yeah, I'm trying to talk and think and everything else. I think I just destroyed that source and no, it's still there. Yeah, right. So actually, despite saying earlier that I thought I wanted spider eyes, well, of course I do want spider eyes in certain cases, but here I'm happy to have this as an increased kind of efficiency by not having spiders. Because if spiders spawn, they don't fall down all the way, they'll just take up the mob cap, and then that's a problem. So we need to get out of here. Can I? No, I can't do that. Okay, I'm going to have to go like this just to get out of here. Oh yeah, I don't really Can I do that instead? That might be easier. I don't want to go up any further because the trapdoors. Perfect, I can lose them, it's no problem. Right, yeah, so we need to box this all off at the top, build up that last layer 2 blocks higher to make these spawnable. It needs to be completely dark. Right now nothing will spawn even if it wanted to, because the light level is too high. So we'll close it off and then we'll see how well it works. And I'm looking forward to seeing if this music disc mechanic works actually, because music discs would be great to collect. Right, welcome back. This will be the moment of truth. So I just finished off this top layer, did some kind of pattern, it doesn't really matter, it's not going to get seen. What we want to do is get a few extra trapdoors actually, because 15 should work, 3, 3, 3, 12, yeah. Because the mechanic for getting, sorry I'm speaking really slowly, the mechanic for getting the music discs relies on, oh, I didn't put any water down. I should keep them in the hotbar. Relies on these skeletons that form, seeing you. And that's fine if the skeletons see you, but we don't want all the mobs to see us. Things like creepers could blow up. So we would like actually working well so far. Ideally we would have a way for just to block off okay. Yeah, I'm, as usual, I'm trying to do stuff and talk, and I haven't prepared what I wanted to say. So these gaps, they might be the ones we can use for the skeletons, so we'll see. What we need is a skeleton, a creeper. You can see it's working fine as a mob farm by itself. And we'll see if we can get the skeleton to fire at the creeper. See, that should work if he just fires. Yes, see, the skeleton killed the creeper then. So this seems to work. It seems a bit dodgy because we had the hiss of the creeper then. So there was one that looked like it was about to explode. Maybe we can refine this mechanic ourselves somehow. I wonder if I got a music disc there. I did! Wow, 3 already. That's amazing. So this works out quite nicely. I was surprised to read that this was a viable mechanic. Maybe we can do it again. I guess if the creeper actually blows, that's a big problem. Maybe when they lose line of sight, they will stop their ignition procedure. Okay. What's the gunpowder like? Very good. Oh, mob heads, of course. We'll be getting mob heads too. This is great. This is a great farm actually. These witches seem to still have lots of health. Can I get the skeleton to kill the witch? It's like a fun game actually. This is just crazy. So the witches, I think, are killing the creepers as well. Oh, see, they got me with the poison. Yeah, see, I'm not entirely sure about this. Seems there's a bit of danger. can get any discs through there. I like it as a mechanic. It seems to, well, it's already given me 3 discs, so. Of course, there's no way that I know about to only have creepers and skeletons come down. That would be the ideal thing if you wanted music discs. Maybe I could build a walkway around the edge that allows me to go at eye level with them. But then you don't want to be constantly at eye level, do you? Because then there's a chance. There's a chance that the creepers could go off. Yes, see, he took out a creeper then. You know, the music disc. This is great. This is great. I haven't looked into the music discs too much. I'm not sure how many there are. Oh, someone's got a creeper head on. That's hilarious. I don't know how many there are, and if you can get them all in this way. I know some, of course, you can only get in ancient cities, and there'll be special ways to get some of them. But if we can farm the majority of them here, I mean, that's great. Oh, okay, disaster. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. Thank God it didn't take out the... How am I going to do this? Crap. Ah, that's not what I wanted to happen. Okay, time I think for... time to start the recording. I'm going to sort this out. That's exactly what I didn't want to happen, and it's happened. So we'll have to block off this temporarily. I guess that would work. They can't see me through the trapdoors, surely. Okay, I'll work this out. I'll come back. Oops-a-daisy. Oh, welcome back, everybody. Okay, so after the first explosion, I thought I'd fix things, and then I had a second explosion. And we lost a good proportion of the loot we'd built up in that first session. We lost 2 of the discs, which really annoyed me. So I have 2 of the same left. We had 4 initially, if you remember. I mean, things are stacking up. It's great. I'm just upset that I lost those 2 discs. To try and stop these explosions happening again, I thought I'd just get rid of this second slab, the second set of slabs, and just use tinted glass so I can see what's happening. Discs would be great, and maybe we can have a dedicated disc facility or farm at some point. There must be ways, I think, of setting them up safely. There's just too much of a risk of the creepers going off in this scenario. And if it was just a case of the blocks, I would build the whole thing out of obsidian, and then it would be no big deal, which is blast proof. But it's the hoppers that explode. So unless I adapted this somehow, yeah, I wonder. Maybe I could do a similar thing with an obsidian chamber and just manually pick up the discs. Because the only reason the hoppers are there are to collect the drops. That's not a bad idea. So a similar one of these, it just has creepers and skeletons. I mean, that is hard by itself, as I said, to stop things like zombies and witches spawning. But it might do the job. It might be a clever way to get the discs. We'll keep going with this for the meantime. In fact, I think that the farm is essentially done. What we need to do now is the outside decoration. So I'm going to pack up a lot of my stuff up here. So sad I lost those discs. So annoying. There's always something that goes wrong. And their storage has to be massively improved. This is just a single double chest. In fact, I could try and do something now, except there's nothing really below this. Yeah, so I'll get a proper storage system for the drops. That will probably be after. I'd want to go inside and light this up so it's not running constantly while I'm building as well. We might try that. I'm not sure how to do that. I can't use lava temporarily. Lava is the brightest thing that there is in the game, but I can't use it because it would burn the trapdoors, I think. That's a minor issue. We can deal with this. Look at these lovely bones. Okay, so I'll find a way to turn this off with torches, basically. We'll get the materials, and we're going to build something around here. And what I'm going to build is an air balloon, a hot air balloon, because the mob farm has a similar shape. So if you've seen hot air balloons, this is kind of like, well, this could be the basket, or I guess the basket could be a bit further down. And then the balloon itself would just envelope the entire thing. It would be a big build, and it's not an easy build. But the shape, let me show you the shape. I mean, the shape alone lends itself to this kind of build. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when I say hot air balloon. It's a perfect way to disguise the farm, I think. And of course, it's exactly the kind of thing you would expect to see hanging in the air. So it really is the best camouflage of all. And I think, if I use the wool we've been collecting in the wool farm, it would look quite good, look quite authentic, because wool is a great block for this kind of build. Okay, so I'll destabilize this, disarm it, whatever the word is, stop it spawning, and then we'll go down and we'll collect materials to start this build. Right, so to calculate the size of the balloon that we want, we have to do a bit of maths. And putting on my teacher hat here, my professor hat, I've done some sketches of this cube of the mob farm on the back of an envelope just to demonstrate how we would do that. So the big box that spawns the mobs is 12 blocks high. And we have a width of one of the sides of the tops, so the box has a width of 15 blocks. What we want to do is we want to calculate the distance from the very center of the box out towards one of the corners, and that will be the minimum radius we need for the sphere that surrounds it. So we can do this quite easily with Pythagorean theorem. This triangle on the right shows you that you have half of the height of the box, which is 6, 12 over 2. That's one side of your triangle. The second part of the triangle is half of the diagonal across the top of the box, which itself can be found using Pythagorean theorem. That's approximately 11 blocks. And then the number that we want, which is x shown here, is therefore the square root of 6 squared plus 11 squared, which gives you about 12.5. So what we want is we want a sphere that surrounds this with a minimum radius of 13 blocks essentially. So the way to do this is to go onto a website, or you can choose any website you like. But I go onto a website called plots, plots.co.uk, and you can fiddle around with different types of spheres, and it will give you a decent representation in 2D and 3D of where the blocks should go. And this is the technique that I'll be using just to get the shape of the balloon in a sphere. The funnel part at the bottom, which will lead down to the basket, will need some work on its own. But Plots is very, very useful for someone like me who doesn't use mods like Lightmatica or any other way to represent spheres that you can then build onto. It's a good enough technique for me. Welcome back. So yeah, you saw the little section on Plots Modeler, giving me the shape of the sphere. This is the lowermost layer that is, well, it's not the lowermost layer. It's the layer I decided to start on, just to make sure the shape was correct, so make sure the calculations were fine with these corners. So this ring will start bulging out. It obviously will be widest at the middle of the cobblestone box, sorry, the deep slate box, and it kind of rounds itself in towards the base. I'm not going to go any lower, or much lower than this level, because I want to curve it off myself. Obviously the sphere that's calculated won't have any curvature towards the bottom. I want the full curvature at the top. I'm happy to have a kind of spherical balloon at the top, but it needs to extend out towards the bottom. The solution I came up with Mob Farm was just sticking these things in. I thought, well, what's the point in turning it off actually if I will be in the vicinity and I can make use of the drops. So instead I just decided to put these down. Still should be working, I'm not sure why nothing's falling down. Oh, I missed a block there still. Let me get that block. That was one of the blocks I added in when I was trying to fix my mistake. Is that the only block that's missing? I think so. Not quite sure why it's decided to stop working out. It's not really a good omen. I didn't put any lights inside. I just flew back, got this wool, and started building this lower layer. I can't imagine the light itself is causing any trouble. The problem with these campfires is obviously they have a light source themselves, and that will go up. Oh, there we go. That kind of scared me. Okay, so it's working fine. Let's have a quick look what we've been getting. Obviously I put in a lot more chests, knowing that... oh, I haven't got space for that. Knowing that it will be running this entire time. So hopefully that's going to fill right up. We've got 4 full chests there that we can use. So yeah, it's all good. So I'm going to keep on building. It looks weird right now because it's just a single ring. But in time, it will look quite good, I think. So I'll bring you back when I've done a bit more. Right, welcome back. This is going to be quite a short one. Just a quick note to say that this is what I have so far. And it looks a bit too much like a mushroom cloud for my liking. We don't want people thinking that this is Fallout rather than Minecraft. I've been doing the shape. I've got, as you can see, most of the sphere done, 2/3 of the sphere done. In white wool, I was going to have some stripes going down each axis just for some decoration, but I realised that's not really going to save it. I was thinking about which colour to use initially, and I thought, well, I didn't really come to a conclusion. I thought I'd try the white and see what it looked like and then add colour later. But I think, having seen this, bottom line is I'm going to use every colour of wool that we have. Maybe I can just overview these. So I might not get many chances to use this multitude of colours of wool that are produced, and this seems like a really good opportunity. So I brought down 2 stacks of every colour, and I think I'll do horizontal stripes, just to break up the pattern of the hot air balloon. I do want it to look good. I don't want it to look like a big white blob in the air. And we'll do some decorations, we'll do some lights and a hanging basket and such. But having something interesting to look at would help out. It would be important to me. And this is not cutting it so far. So that's what I came back to say. Because if you're looking at this video, you'll see jump cuts where I was building in white, and then the next time I come back, it should be a multicoloured hot air balloon. And that's the reason for it. Once again, I'm just amazed at how this looks with the shaders from up here. I was worried you wouldn't be able to see the base from up here. I was also worried you wouldn't be able to see the hot air balloon from the base. I guess these clouds might obscure things, but let's have a quick look. I think it's going to still be quite visible, and obviously the rates seem okay. So we're certainly not too close to stop the mob spawning. Yeah, everything's going quite well so far. It's just time consuming, but we'll get over that. Hopefully these stripes look good, because I don't really intend on replacing all the white wool and then replacing them again for another pattern if I don't like it. So we'll see. I'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, I tell you what, it has been a while. I know when you watch these videos, you just see different segments that are attached together with transitions in between. But in terms of real life, I think there's maybe about a 2-week gap between recording this and the bulk of the first episode. I'm not going to say life took over. I've still been playing Minecraft, but as you may have seen on the channel, I started playing on an SMP called Whimsycraft, and if you're interested in seeing some of the stuff we get up to, definitely watch those videos too. But I had gone about 3/4 of the way through this build, this episode, when the SMP started, and I did get caught up in a bit of the group activities there, but I wanted to finish this off as well, and I think I have done now. So I'm standing inside, I guess you'd call it the cabin. So this is running so well. I'm just standing here and it's just chugging away. Here's a double chest of random stuff. There's mob heads, plenty of arrows, which might help if we want to take on a trial chamber sometime soon, which I do intend to do. Rotten flesh, which I don't really have a use for, but still. Bones, lots of gunpowder, which would be great for TNT, because we may also want to get some netherite soon, who knows. I'm currently mostly diamond, or fully diamond actually. I haven't got any netherite to show for myself. I've done a bit of decoration here. This is not meant to be functional in any way. It's not somewhere I'm going to do any work. I'm not putting down workstations. It's just some kind of interesting patterns on the floor. A painting on the wall always makes things look nice. What we're going to do is going to fly away, perhaps this way, and get some shots of the balloon from the outside. So there's part of the view. Looks pretty good. I'm definitely happy with it. I mean, it's got a bit of an odd shape, I think, at the bottom. The transition from the sphere to the funnel is a bit angular. But of course, it's always hard to transition between those two shapes. And I mean, from a distance, it's not that noticeable, I think. I carried on the multicolour pattern all the way up and down. So we've got red at the top, orange, yellow, green, blah blah blah. And I got all the way to the end of the colours with this black, and had to start the cycle again, just for the funnel. But I think this turned out really well. You know, I do like this a lot. And the basket is basic, but it's just something that I need to fly into, just to, well, AFK, I guess. The phantoms wouldn't get me because it's covered up. There's some light in here. It would be better to AFK up top here, because the actual platform you're supposed to stand on is basically where those hoppers are. So I'm maybe 5 or 6 blocks down from where I'm supposed to be standing, but the rates still seem perfectly good for me. I couldn't really be happier. And I just like the way it looks. I mean, this was kind of what I envisaged. I wasn't sure if it would turn out as well as it has done. And the main thing for me is that I just like the look of these builds and that they all fit together nicely in my world. Down there, spawn's looking really good, especially with the Nether portal. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. And that's kind of the objective of the episode. So we wanted to get a mob farm, to get some mob drops. There's so many uses for the different mob drops, it's unbelievable. Music discs was one of the aims as well. Obviously that didn't work out, as you've already seen from the previous sections. But we may do a specialised music disc maker, which uses TNT and flaming arrows from skeletons at one point in time. Always got good ideas for future projects. So I might leave things there. Say thank you again for watching. This has been a long episode to record. I mean, you'll see from the schedule that I've not been keeping up to the weekly uploads, unfortunately. This has taken longer than it should have done, mostly because construction of this balloon was just so complex. I mean, so much wool was placed. I've gone through stacks and stacks and stacks. We'll fly off again and get another shot in the dark. See what it looks like. Actually, there's not much illumination, so I could do something with that. But we'll work all this out. So, I guess, yes, we'll call it a day there. We're going to think of something else exciting to do for the next episode. And yeah, thank you for sticking around. I know I've been growing my subscriber count slowly and steadily, and I hope that all you guys are staying interested in what I'm doing, because I'm certainly enjoying the builds that I'm making. So thanks again for watching, and please join me for the next one. Have a good day.